visit. Good evening everyone. Welcome to this beautiful channel named Geeks for Geek School, and I would like to welcome all the students who have joined in through my channel also, the name of which is Gaurav Kumar Jain. Thank you very much all of you for joining me at this time in this tutorial. Before diving into the platform, I would like to tell you about this App Lab course which we have recently come up with. So basically it covers everything related to mobile development. So here in this course you will be taught about mobile applications, what are the different components of UI, how you can design the UI for an app, how to make your apps more interactive by writing codes, and how to create multi-screen and real-time applications. So that's what you will be taught in this course, and you want to know more about this course, so you can visit this web page. This is the URL address of this web page: practice.geeksforgeeks.org/courses/app-lab. You can find the link of this web page in the description section of the video, and there is a coupon code also which you can find in the description section. If you want to avail some discount on the course fee, you can use the coupon code for the same. If you want to check out the syllabus that will be covered in this course, so this is the tab you can visit. Click on this tab and automatically you will get redirected to this PDF file where everything related to this course is given. So these are the topics which we will be covering in this App Labs course. Right, there are 15. We have bifurcated the course into 15 different topics. Sorry, not 15, 18 different topics, and these are the things we will cover in the course. Right, so if you are interested, then you can avail the offer. It's a limited offer, by the way, let me tell you that. And in case you're not able to understand the information given on this web page, or you want some more help from us guys, you can contact Geeks for Geeks School's executive team anytime, any day. Right, you can get the toll-free number on our main website. Okay, and in case you come across any issue, you want to know more, you can get in touch with the concerned department. Right, so let's come on Google and straight away dive into the platform and do that thing which we all are here for today. So we are here for developing a drawing app, right? And today I will tell you how you can use the pen extension available on Scratch, using which you can draw a drawing tool. Using which you can develop a drawing app. Okay, so we will be using that pen extension for the same. Now the students who are new to this Scratch platform, let me tell you, there are two versions of Scratch. So one is the offline version and the second one is the online version. If you want to download the offline version like the way I have it on my respective device, so you can simply write Scratch offline 3.0 over here in the search bar of Google, and that's where you will be redirected to. So you can simply click on this hyperlink and straight away you will be redirected on a web page where these are the options you will see. So if you are using Windows operating system, you can use this option for downloading the Scratch XCE file, and you can install it directly on your system, and then you can start using Scratch offline version. In case you're using Mac operating system or Chrome operating system, or you're using an Android, so Scratch offline is also available for all these operating systems. Right, so whatever you want, whatever version or whatever platform you want, whatever platform you're using, accordingly you can download the Scratch offline's exe file. Right, now there is another version which is Scratch Online 3.0. So if you are low on your disk space, you cannot afford to download Scratch offline 3.0, so you can go and create new things on Scratch online platform. So you simply have to type Scratch online 3.0 over here in this search box, and right on the top you will see the hyperlink with which you can get yourself redirected on the main website of Scratch. So right on the top over here in this header section of this web page, you will see this start creating option. Click on this and it will redirect you to the Scratch platform, which is divided into 3 different parts, as you all know. So there on the Scratch environment, so it looks something like this. Right, this is the Scratch environment which I was talking about, and it is divided into 3 different sections. So the first section consists of all the blocks you can use for defining the code or for coding your sprites or objects. Then this second section is known as the coding space or coding workspace. You can drag and drop the blocks over here, and you can define your codes over here in this workspace. Then we have this playground on which you can define the sprites. If you want to define an appealing background, that is also you can do very easily. Then this section is divided into 2 different parts. So the first consists of a playground and the second consists of the properties panel. So whatever sprite or whatever objects you will be defining over here on this playground, automatically if you want to modify the properties of that object or objects, you can refer to this properties panel. So this is the sprite which you will see by default on this playground when you will access this platform, right, and its properties are at present getting reflected over here. So it is with name sprite1 and its position is 0, 0, and this is where it is this is showing the direction in which it is pointing right now, and then this is the size of this sprite. Right, so if you want to get rid of this, you can simply click on this bin button and automatically it will be removed by the Scratch platform. So it's completely blank now. Okay, let's start creating the drawing app. So the first thing you have to do is you have to add the pen extension to this Scratch environment. And how can you access the extensions? You can simply come down over here, and that's the add extensions option. Click on this add extensions and it will redirect you to the window where you will find all the extensions you can add to your Scratch environment. Okay, so I need this pen extension for now. So what you have to do to add it to your Scratch environment, simply click on this and automatically you'll see that in this part a separate section with name pen has got created. Right, so when you click on this pen, you'll see all the relevant blocks over here. Fine, you'll see all the relevant blocks getting reflected over here. Just a second. So I'm able to see only erase all at present. Let me visit this extension section one more time. Okay. Not this one I want. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let's define an event first when flag is clicked. Okay, now what we have to do, we can put this erase all over here. So it is going to erase everything from this playground automatically. Alright, suppose we have a sprite on this playground initially. Let's say we have this sprite over here on this playground. Right, and then see, as soon as you'll place the sprite, as soon as I placed the sprite over here, I am now able to see all the blocks, which I can use for drawing purpose. Right, earlier these blocks were not visible to me, but as soon as I define this sprite over here, I am now able to see these blocks, right, which falls under the category of this pen extension. Okay, so what will happen if I click on this flag button? Just a second, I think. Okay, just give me a short moment. I think I haven't defined any sprite earlier, so let me go back. Okay, let's select this when flag is clicked option, and let's add this erase all option. Earlier what happened, there was no sprite present over here. Now because there is a sprite, so we can add the code one more time. Right, so when the flag will be clicked, nothing is going to happen because we haven't defined anything yet. Fine, and I would like to just remove this sprite from here. Just a second. So for doing that, I will have to visit the sprite section. So choose a sprite. Sorry, I can come on this costumes and I don't want to see it. So how to convert it into a blank, an empty frame? We can first convert it into the vector form, right, because it was in bitmap form. I told you in the previous lecture also that if you want to modify the property, or if you want to play with the dimensions of any sprite, you have to first convert it into the vector form, then only you can do the modifications. Right, now we are able to see these dots over here. Let's do one thing, let's delete this sprite from here. That is excellent. Okay, so it's now an empty frame we have with us. Okay, this is the one, and let me just give it a proper name. So it's with name Amon. I'm changing the name to pen. Right, let's come back on this coding section. Now when the flag will be clicked, so erase all will take place. Now let's search for the forever block. I'm putting it over here. Inside this I would like to define some code which I would like Scratch to run for me forever till the game is on. So the first thing I would like to define is, let's come on this motion section, and I would like to grab hold of this go to mouse pointer block. Where can I find it? I'm searching for go to mouse pointer. I think this is the one. Yes. Let's click on this drop down. So here you'll see two options: random position, mouse pointer. So I would like to move the pin. I would like to see the pin moving along with my mouse pointer. So that's the reason I'm choosing this mouse pointer option. Then we can come on this control section and let's make use of this if control statement. Why we call it a control statement? Because it controls the execution of a statement or set of statements, right? Then we need to come down in the sensing part and I'm searching for mouse down right now. When the mouse will, where is that mouse down option? I'm searching for it. Yes, this is the one I was looking for. I'm placing it over here. So when the mouse will be down, at that time I would like the pen also to be down. Simple. So we can use this pen down block and place it over here. Just a second. I need to adjust my filter. It's not very clear right now. Okay, let's go back. So if the mouse will be down, the pen will be down. Let's copy it and create a duplicate of this if loop. I'm placing it over here. Or else instead of using this, what we can do, we can make use of an if else loop, if else control statement, sorry. So when the mouse will be down, the pen should be down. Else what should happen? Else pen should be always up, right? Okay, I'm putting it back. Let's hit this flag button. Okay, so I am able to now draw something over here. See, wherever I am moving my mouse, I'm able to see the pen also over there coming. It is it is following my mouse pointer. It's great. Okay, so now as soon as you'll stop the game and if you'll restart it, everything you have created on this playground, it will disappear, right? Okay, now what we have to now, let's create another sprite and I would like to make use of this paint option now. So let's paint a sprite over here. For that I need a circular thing, right? So I am drawing a circle over here. It's blue in color, that is perfectly fine. I need to, okay, just reducing its size so that it can look good on this playground. Okay, now I would like to see this somewhere over here. Perfectly fine. Let's define the code for this blue sprite. So let me just change the name also of this sprite. I'm changing it to blue. So it was costume 1 earlier, now it is blue. Okay, I haven't saved it, I think. Have I? Yes. Okay, let's come on this coding part. Now we need to again come on this event section. Let's grab hold of this when flag is clicked. So when the flag is clicked, I would like certain set of statement to be executed by Scratch for forever for me till the game is on. So that's the reason define this forever block over here. Now wherever the coordinates of this point where I have kept this circular, where I've kept this circle, I need to find it out. So I think this can help me in doing that. Yes, So these are the coordinates. As you can see here also, the value of x is 199 and y's value is 132, and here also it is 199, 132. Right, so whenever the game will be on, whenever the user will start the game, he is going to see the circle over here. Right, even if you'll move it over here, and if you'll start the game, so it will come back on its initial position. Right, okay, perfect. Let's now define an if loop, so we can find, sorry, not if loop, it's a control statement, my bad. So if now if suppose I click on this circle and if I start drawing now something over here using that pen, so I would like to see everything getting reflected, whatever I will draw, in blue color. So I will have to pick up this color first. Right, now how can we pick up this color? We can use the sensing block, that is this one. So if the mouse will touch this, if the mouse pointer will touch this blue circle, first thing we can do is we can set the brightness first. So this is the one we can use for setting the brightness. So I'm setting it to 30. Fine, and then okay, I think if else control statement will be a better option. Else the brightness should be equal to 0, so that the user will not be so that's what the user will see. Now when you will click on this flag button, see, when I will bring my cursor and put it on this blue circle, just check out what will happen to the color, the background color of the circle. It will change. See, it changed, its brightness changed. Right, let me just reduce it to 20. I think 30 is not giving us the correct output. Now if I will bring my cursor and put it over the circle, okay, so again I am able to see some changes happening to the brightness of the circle. It is perfectly fine, so we can go ahead and use this 20 over here. Right, so it's the hover effect. Right, you remember we did that in thumb cable, as well as we studied about this hover effect when we were doing web development. Okay, so that's the kind of effect you can add with the help of these blocks. Okay, now when the user will click on this, what should happen? That is another thing we have to think about. So what we can do, we can define a variable over here and let the name of the variable be color. So for setting the value of this color, we can come up in this event section and we can use this when this sprite is clicked block, and we can place it over here simply. Now when this sprite will be clicked, what should happen? That's what we have to think about. So we can set the color equal to blue. I think that is going to give us the correct output. So the color's value, the variable color that we have defined over here, its value will be set to blue. Right, let me show it to you what is the output we will get with the help of this code. So if I bring my cursor on this circle, the brightness will change. Now if I'll click on the circle, see, the value of color variable has changed from 0 to blue. Right, earlier 0 was getting reflected over here, now the blue, the text blue is getting reflected over here. Now what we have to do, we can simply right click on this sprite, and in order to create a copy of this sprite, we can hit this duplicate option. So duplicate is will get created. I would like to put it over here. I think here it is fine. Perfect. Now what is the location? I need to change this. Go to its block. So I am selecting this one for now, eliminating this first one which I placed earlier. Let's put this if loop, and when this will be clicked, now we have two blue circles, but the second circle I would like to define some other color inside it. So what we can do, we can simply make use of this paint fill tool. Let's select the color from here. I would like to select this red color, and that's how you can fill this circle with the red color. Now it's red in color. Right, now when you click on this flag, so that's what you will get the output. Okay, and here we have to change this blue to red. We need to change it to red, like this we can do it. Okay, so now we have two different colors. So if the user will click on this, I would like right now it is painting in blue. Whatever I am drawing, it is getting reflected in blue color, but it should not happen. I would like to code this game, to code this thing in such a way that if I select this red color, okay, simply by tapping on this, so the pen should start drawing the things in red color. That's what I want should happen. Okay, so we will definitely make it happen, no worries. So now let me just create some more sprites. So right click, duplicate, and let's repeat the same steps. So I would like to see this circle in some other color. Let's select a color from here. How about green? I think green is going to be a good option. Yeah, yes, now it is green. Let's repeat the same steps, but before that we have to make some changes in the code. Okay, so right now green is active, right? So we can simply put this go to X block over here. I'm putting this one, and we need to change this to green, I think. Yes. Okay, then we can duplicate, create a copy of this circle. Just a second. It should be here. I think now I am more visible to every one of you, right? Great. Okay, so we have now 4 different circles, and now we are going to repeat the same steps for this one, changing the inside color. So we need to select the color from here first. How about this color? This color is funky. Let's use this one. Okay, it's looking great, isn't it? Now let me just create another copy of this one. Perfect. Now I'm going to place it over here. Let's change this color to we haven't selected the yellow right yet, so we can go ahead and make it yellow. That's great. Now they're looking extremely beautiful, right? Good. So what we have to do now, we have to change the position. So this yellow one is at this position at present, 206 minus 159. So it should be 206 and it should be minus 159. And then we have to change this value to yellow. Same thing we can do for this one also. Okay, so it is at 205 and it should be minus 86. Okay, then I would like it to be pink. Okay, so we are done with defining the code for all these circles over here. So if you'll click on this flag, so that's what is going to happen. Okay, I think I have to make some changes in the code of this green circle. Let's do that quickly. So where is it at present? At present it is at this point, 205 minus 8. Let me just change the coordinates over here, 205 minus 8. And now if you will hit this flag, so we are able to see all the circles. If you will click on this blue color, the color's value will change to blue. If you'll hit this red color, it will change to red, and if you'll hit this green, it is changing to green, then pink, then yellow. So it's working perfectly fine. Whatever code we have defined till now, it's working perfectly fine. Okay, so what's the next thing now? We have to come on this sprite, the main one, okay, the pen sprite, and outside this if control statement we can define the size of the pen. So I think this is the one we can make use of for setting the pen size. We can that size of the pen, that pen size is not visible to us over here. Okay, not this one. I think this is going to help us in setting the pen size. So for that I will need a variable with which I can control the pen size. I think this is going to be a great option, isn't it? Now what should be the pen size? That's what we have to now see. Okay, so the pen size should be equal to how the user, it is right now equal to 1. Okay, so when the user will click this flag, so that is what we will see. Now if I'll change it to suppose 23, if I will change it to 23, so that's what is going to happen. Okay, so we have to now find out, we have to define some code with the help of which we can control the pen size also. For doing that, let me just see if I can get some option from here. So this is going to help us in switching the backdrop, so we cannot make use of this. We do not require this actually. I am trying to find out an option with the help of which we can, control the size of the pen. We can put a check on the size of the pen. But let's do one thing. Let's leave it for now. We'll do it afterwards. Let me first define the required code for that thing. If the user will click on this blue colored circle, the pen should start drawing in blue color. If it is red, the user selects, so the pen should start drawing in red, should start drawing the things in red color. So that's what I would like to define first. Now how can we do that? We can come on this control section, and this is the block you can easily, with which you can easily achieve the output, achieve your goal. So let's use this assignment operator, or you can say comparison operator. So if the value of the color, see, when the user will click on any of these circles, automatically the value of color will change. Now suppose if the value of color is equal to red, at that time what should happen? That's what we have to define. So I would like to set the color of my pen. I would like to set the color of my pen equal to, so we have to, okay, instead of using this, why are we not using this? I think this is a better option. So we can use the set pen color too, and then if you click on this color box, you'll see this window. Now come down and click on this tool and select the color. So I would like it to now paint in red color for me. Fine. Simply duplicate this if loop, if control statement. If the color's value is equals to blue, so at that time what should happen? It should start painting in this color. If the value of the color variable at any point of time is, let's say, green, so it should start painting in this green color. If it is equal to the pink color, this color, right? So that's how you can achieve the output. And if it is equals to yellow, then automatically the color of the pen should change to this color. Okay, let me now check out the output. So we need to hit this stop button first because the game was in running mode. Now let's enlarge the size of the window, and if I hit this flag over here and start painting, so that's what I will get as an output. Let me select this red color and see what is going to happen. So now I'm able to paint everything in red. If I select this green color, I'm able to see green color, right? If I will select this pink, I'm able to see this pink color, and if I'll select this yellow, so I'm able to see this yellow color. So everything is working perfectly fine. Okay, that's great. Now we have to do something for the size of this pen. Let me check if I can do something for this. So we can simply first put this when flag is clicked. Okay. And then we can ask the person to enter the size of the pen. I think that will be a better option. Enter the size of the pen. Right. So the person, once he is done with entering the size, automatically the answer is going to come in this answer named block. And what we can do now, we can simply, instead of passing a hardcode value to this pen size, we can pass this answer as an input. Okay, let me just see if we can get the correct output with the help of this. So I'm hitting this flag option. Okay, so into the size of the pen, that's what is coming, that's what is getting reflected over here. I'm setting it to 12. Let's hit this yes button. So if I draw something over here, okay, then red, fine, green, okay, pink, okay, yellow, fine. Now so the pen size is 12. So if you restart the game, again this input box will appear. You can change the pen size to 90 if you want. Let me now draw something. Okay, so that's what I'm getting as an output right now. Pink, okay, yellow, fine. Okay, so that's how you can draw an amazing drawing app using Scratch basic feature. Let me now check if I have something to answer, if I have any query to answer in the comment section. So I am going to check both the channels, Geeks for Geek School as well as your Gaurav Kumar Jain. Okay, Rafiq Ahmed, thank you very much dear for joining me in this tutorial. Barun, Anjali, hello dear, hope you enjoyed this one a lot. We have already covered the entire thing related to this drawing app development. Okay, so I hope everyone enjoyed this one a lot. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial. And in case you come across any issue while drawing this app on your own, you're most welcome to share with me your issues in the comment section. And before I leave you guys, let me tell you about this App Lab course one more time. So it's a very beautiful course and we have done a lot of work on it. We have put in a lot of efforts so that we can give you the best of the best. Okay, and it's very affordable. We are there to help you out in every possible way. If you want to avail this course, you guys can get in touch with the Geeks for Geeks technical department. They will guide you about this course if you want some other help related to this. And you guys can check out this URL at this web page. The URL of this web page you can find in the description section of all the videos which I have shooted in last 1 week. Fine. So it is a limited time offer, so make sure you avail it if you really need it. Thank you very much for being there with me in this tutorial, guys. Have a great day ahead. Bye bye.